Ah, yes, the J52s, one of the most elegant looking engines from the Great Northern Railway. And of course, you can't forget the J52s without their glorious Great Eastern Blue. Huh? What's that? J52s never wore a Great Eastern Railway blue livery? Oh. Well, they do now! Okay, so why did I give a northern engine a livery from the eastern region? Well, the simple answer to that is because the concept is more of a what if. That being, what if the Great Eastern Railway made their own J52s? That, and I just really wanted an engine in that colour scheme, so yeah. Something to note is that I am also working on a 00 gauge layout based within the western region on a preserved line setting. So the idea of a J52 on this layout would be quite novel. A Great Northern engine painted in Great Eastern colours on a Great Western set. I think you get the picture. Anyway, now that you know the ideas behind this thing, let's get to building. So the model itself is one of the J52s that Hornby have produced over the years, though I only had the body of one as I already had a spare chassis which I could use. All the removable parts of the body were then removed to make it easier for the primer and painting process. Detailing the model went down a similar route as the detailed Hornby Ginties in the last video, with added features like the lampines and the moulded buffers being taken off and replaced with some LNER sprung ones from Bachmann. Also, like the Ginties, the bunker was given an upgrade, now given the warped up bunker grills version that some of the J52s have. One of the most tedious details to sort out was the chimney. As this engine had the warped up bunker variant, it also had to have the stovepipe style chimney rather than the traditional capped one. I had a spare J72 body from a project that didn't fully work out, so I looked at the chimney and I thought, that looks rather stovepipe-esque. So I removed the chimney from the boiler and sanded off the rim of the capped look. The hardest part was removing the chimney from the J52, which resulted in taking off a bit more than I thought. So I ended up cutting off a small chunk from a PVC pipe, glued it down, as well as the new chimney, with Milliput acting as a filler. I was incredibly satisfied once it was primered and painted. It just looked so seamless. So happy with how that turned out. Once completed, the body was given a coat of primer and paint, and so were the wheels. The wheels were painted in thin layers of deep blue before being varnished. Several coats of the blue were applied onto the body, then red, then black. The black borders of the livery were achieved by using precision masking tape. Tape down, paint an area, then remove tape. Took a while, but worth it. Next came the lining. The red lining came first, then the white on the buffer beams. The red lining were more tricky around the corners where it had to be rounded off, though it was so much easier once those areas were done. For me, the lining really felt like the proper turning point of the model, as that makes the livery feel a lot more complete. After that came the JER lettering and the numbers on the buffer beams. The number 398 comes from the number of the model that I had previously, 3980, though I wasn't able to add the 0 on there, so the number just shortened and became 398. The smokebox darts and the smokebox door hinges were picked out in silver, and the stovepipe below the tanks were picked out in copper. The cab interior was also repainted to show off some of the cab controls. The final detail that were added were the builder's plates I had lying around. They may not be accurate to the actual builder's plates that the engine had, but the plates themselves had Doncaster on them, and the J52s were built in Doncaster works. I feel like I should get some points at least, right? Maybe not. And now the model is done. I have yet to see anyone else do anything similar to this, though I could very much be wrong. who knows? I'm so glad that this take on the J52s worked as well as it did. I attribute that to the grand design of these tank engines, even though this would be so wrong on a factual, historical level. I am so happy to have this model amongst the rest in my collection. And that's it. Thank you all for your support, as well as support on the last video. Considering I haven't done a model video in a good while, the positive response from that video was just incredible. For now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.